imitated, never duplicated, the greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Welcome back once again, race fans, here to the Turn 3 Racing Network. Tonight, the Light Electric Company Xfinity Series heads to Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Who's going to take a gamble out there tonight in the BlackJack 100, race number 3 on this season for the Light Electric Company Xfinity Series, with your pole position already being determined earlier this evening here in Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Thomas Light putting his 98 top of the speed charts with a quick time in qualifying, 36.13 for Thomas Light. So heck of a job by him to go ahead and snatch some points early here tonight. And I tell you what, race fans, while we've got a second, while we've got a chance, why don't we run down your official starting lineup for race number 3 here in the Light Electric Company that was last season, Light Electric Company Xfinity Series. Rolling off inside row number 1, starting in the inside lane, your pole sitter, the 98 of Thomas Light. Starting just to his outside, the 8 of Hunter Tate. Starting inside row number 2, the 56 of John Wimbish, followed by the 94 of Troy Radford. Tyler Hilton and Dustin Ping make up row number 3. Row number 4 here tonight, the 48 of Jimmy Hetrick and the 55 of Steve Baker. Row number 5 here inside row number 5 in that 9th position, Derek Robinson, Jeffrey Vandevort. Gonna line up just to his outside, Brandon Medford, Chris Medford make up row number 6 here tonight. Row number 7 looks a little something like this. There you can see Christopher Spencer, followed by Justin Walters, Kendall Levron, Joshua Spalding, Todd Willis, Katie Osmond, last week's race winner, Nathan Bishop, Lance Yancey round out your top 10. Rest of the field looks a little something like this. A little big field here tonight for the BlackJack 100, and we get set to fire things off for the first time here tonight. That Ford Mustang pace car going to go ahead and duck on off, and there you see it making that left-hand turn. It's time to go back. Green flag racing once again here in the Light Electric Company Xfinity Series, and green flag flies once again for the first time here tonight. No stage breaks in the Light Electric Company Xfinity Series right here in this BlackJack 100. Drivers gonna have to lay it all out on the line very early here. Drivers all stacked up with each other, nose to tail down the backstretch, battle for that top spot. John Wimbish looking to the inside of Thomas Light. Not going to get there just yet. They stay nose to tail. And Wimbish gets loose off of 4. Wimbish almost goes around in front of the field. That could have been a big-time moment there. You see John Wimbish continuing to fall back through the field. Drivers making their way around him to the high side. Still packed up side by side through most of this field. The majority of the field is packed up, and we've got a battle for that top spot. Dustin Ping looking to the outside of Thomas Light, looking to take that spot away. Sitting right there in the 3rd position, Hunter Tate now drops from 2nd back to 3rd, and he is in the clutches of Steve Baker, Jeffrey Vandervoort right there, as well as Troy Radford, Chris Medford, and Tyler Hilton. Gonna see if we can't back up here just a little bit, get a little bit wider of a camera shot for you. Oh, nope, that's a little too wide. Let's get a little bit closer back to the action here. Dustin Ping now with that race lead. He was able to take that top spot away last time through 1 and 2. He's gonna lead that lap, put a lap lead in the back pocket of Ping. Now he's gonna try to set sail. He's got Thomas Light, as well as Hunter Tate, Steve Baker, Troy Radford, Jeffrey Vandervoort, all lined up your top 6, all right there, slowly starting to break away from the field, but the rest of the pack still all right there, running with each other, scrum back through this pack. You can see it back here, 2-3 wide at times. Cody Terry, Mitchell Snare, John Wimbish, Lance Yancey, Tim Woodson also out there mixing it up inside the top 25, and Travis Smith from the 946 Design Stable. There you can see him just to the outside of Tim Woodson. There you can see that 9 machine piloted by Travis Smith a little bit further back through the field. Drivers beginning to gap themselves just a little bit. Looks like Dustin German behind the 8 ball, a little bit off of pace here tonight as we continue to watch this big battle between drivers near, well, outside of the top 20, really, to be perfectly honest. That's where they're running. Cody Terry sitting in that 19th position. There you see him slotted in that black and orange 22 machine. Now back off of pit road. We do have one driver making his way back out there. I do believe that very well may be Damian Patton, driver in that 51 machine. He has had some trouble early here tonight, had to go to pit road, and he is back up to speed, running in the final position, down 1 lap already very early here. 100 laps on this 1-mile track here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Gonna check in with the weather report real quick. Let's see how it all looks like on the track. There you can see exactly that track temperature, 69 degrees, so not a very hot track. So track looks like it is very racy out there. You can tell it's racy. All these drivers packed up with each other, as up at the front, drivers still all running right where they were. Dustin Ping able to step out by just about a half of a second. Just about a half a second over Thomas Light and Hunter Tate. Steven Baker is still right there as well. And so far this season, I know it's very early, so I know what you're going to say, Dave. I mean, it's only race number 3 here this season for the Light Electric Company Xfinity Series. We've had 2 different winners. Will anybody go ahead and make it 2 wins on the season? Roy Hyde as well as Katie Osmond, both of those drivers visiting victory lane in the first 2 races. Hyde taking the victory in the season opener at Daytona, last week at Texas. Katie Osmond, or last time on the track, not last week. We were on the track 3 weeks ago, a 3-week get ready to go real racing, boys, because we've got a long stretch ahead of us here in the Light Electric Company Xfinity Series. So, I mean, right now, looking through the timing and scoring, and neither one of those drivers are even inside of the top 10, let alone the top 15 right now. Both of those drivers sitting outside the top 20 to be exact. Katie Osmond sitting back in 22nd spot, and trying to look through the field and see if I can even see Roy Hyde, and I do not see Roy Hyde listed on the timing and scoring chart, so I do believe Hyde missing tonight's race. Do not see that familiar 00, the double knot on the timing and scoring, so indeed Roy Hyde not here tonight. He's going to lose a shot at going to victory lane twice this season, so throw his name out of the hat Katie Osmond, he's got quite a bit of ground to make up if he's going to try to do so, but right now, man of the moment, already up over the 1 second mark ahead of this field. Dustin Ping begins to step away. Battle still raging right here on screen. There you can see it packed up. Thomas Light, Hunter Tate, Troy Radford, Jeffrey Vandervoort. He's packed in there with Stephen Baker, as well as Chris Medford, Tyler Hilton, also right here on the outside looking in on this lead pack. And then a little bit of a gap back through the rest of the field. You see the 48 of Jimmy Hedrick right there running in the 11th spot, just outside of your top 10. Up the track through 3 and 4 that time for Hedrick. He's going to give up a little bit of ground as Kendall Levron and Joshua Spalding, they close in. They continue to battle, and there's another battle just behind them. Todd Willis, Jeffrey Stiles, right there packed up with each other. They're running with Nathan Bishop, Cody Terry, John Wimbish right behind them, battling for position. Herrick almost in, Hetrick almost into the outside wall there, that time off of 2. Two and 3 wide right here at times with Todd Willis, Derek Robinson, and Jeff Stiles. These drivers all mixing it up here very early here tonight. Lap number 14 out of the 100 scheduled in the official race distance. And man, both of those paint schemes look really, really sweet. Todd Willis, Jeff Stiles out there looking good here in Sin City, the Sunset Strip, Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Putting on a fine show here under the lights. Looks like the front of the field slowly starting to sort themselves out. Still have a few movers battling for some spots, but let's go back here where we've got some more hot and heavy battles. There you can see that 40 of Tim Woodson falling back through the field just a little bit further now in the clutches of Brian Snare. Gordon Larson Jr.'s right there. Brian Mescal Jr. also mired back here in traffic, running in the 30th position here. And if anybody knows this 33, we're going to go ahead and highlight him on screen one good time. There you can see him making his way around the track. Right there in that middle lane, and he's... this is one of his favorite tracks. This is one of the tracks that he considers to be one of his best tracks. Admired back in traffic right now. There you can see him running that middle lane. Looking sweet out there. A little different paint scheme this season for Brian Mescal Jr. in the Next Gen Light Electric Company Xfinity Series. We are used to seeing him in them Superman colors, but now rocking that white and orange. Brian Mescal Jr. trying to make his way up through the field now on the charge, gaining 2 or 3 positions the last lap or so. So Mescal Jr. tired of being in the back and starting to head to the front. And it looks like Dustin German may have had some troubles. He was a little bit slow last time by on the speedway. German's able to keep it going, headed in the right direction, so we'll stay green flag racing here as we've still got drivers battling side by side. This is outside of your top 20, and we'll jump a little further up in this little scrum going on right here. We'll jump in with that 77 of Lance Yancey as he's got John Wimbish packed in behind him. Jeff Stiles, Derek Robinson right to his outside. Stiles just off in front there. You can see Stiles hanging on to the tail end of Cody Terry. Both of those drivers had been battling multiple laps here, and that has allowed this bigger pack to run them down to catch on up here very quickly. "19 laps into tonight's initial run here. 2 and 3 wide right here. Once again, John Wimbish involved. 3 wide, Wimbish in the middle through 3 and 4. I tell you what, race fans, there is action all over this speedway right now here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I want to break back up to the front to the battles going on at the front, but don't want to miss any of this action back here either. 2 and 3 wide, still almost 4 wide at times. Coming down the backstretch once again, we're two wide. Look to go 3 wide there for a minute, 3 wide, just off in front of these drivers. And I don't know how long they're going to be able to continue this 3 wide pack racing like this. 3, 4 wide as they fan out, coming across the start-finish line. My goodness. Way up the track that time goes the 38 of Derek Robinson in contact into the outside wall. Katie Osmond, last week's race winner, into the outside wall. Osmond falling through the field now. There you can see a heavily damaged 88 of Katie Osmond as more drivers go around. Oh, Derek Robinson looks like he may have been involved in this one. And indeed, he was sitting slow on the track right there. My goodness, tough break for Derek Robinson. Let's see if we can't cue this one on up. On the turn 3 replay, looks like producer's giving us the thumbs up, so let's go back and see how it all went down. Oh, and there you can see contact, and it looks like that is... I am not sure who that is. That looks like Craig Learman is who that was. I do believe that was Craig Learman getting spun right there. Looks like going right across the nose of that 43, and up the track he goes, and boom. That's about all she wrote. And it looks like Derek Robinson may be the driver that got the brunt of that incident here. Everybody able to drive away, but they are going to have to bring their machines down to pit road, and it does indeed look like the field all come down pit road, including your race leader right now in the box, Thomas Light, your pole sitter. There you can see him, left side's going up. Field going to make their way off of pit road back up behind the Chevy, Chevy Silverado pace car here tonight. We've got the Ford Mustang, that's right. So we're going to break away for just a small, brief commercial break. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. Driver points being displayed right there to the left-hand side of your screen. That is your point standings coming into tonight's race right here. Race number 3 from Las Vegas Motor Speedway in the NEXTGEN Light Electric Company Xfinity Series. It's the BlackJack 100. Here tonight, drivers already under caution for the first time here tonight. Already upwards of 20 laps on the first green flag run. There you can see your point standings off to the left-hand side of your screen. A lot of drivers very close to each other. A lot of ground still left to be made up by multiple different drivers out there tonight. And we're going to take a quick look at your team standings coming into tonight's race as well. There you can see Smoke Show beginning to step away just a little bit. They've got Black Hawk Motorsports lined up right there in the point standings just behind them. So a good points battle already underway. And I know it's only 2 races in, so of course they're still going to be close. There's still going to be a battle brewing between the entire group of teams that we have here this season. But interesting to see Falcon Motorsports as well as Dirty Air Racing. Both of those teams usually top-notch tier teams, and they are sitting 4th and 5th in the point standings for the constructors so far throughout 2 races. So look for those drivers and those teams to try to make up a little bit more ground as we begin to get ready to fire things back off there. You can see it just to the right-hand side of your screen. Pace car lights are out we're ready to go back green flag racing this time by here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Man, I tell you what, too, Thomas Light, he was able to keep the lead for just a brief moment before he was passed up by Dustin Ping, and I'm not quite sure what happened on Ping's pit stop, but he had lost a ton of ground. He lost a ton of time all the way back, now sitting in the 9th position. So Ping with a big time slide on pit road. Drivers begin to make their way back into turn number 3. We're set to fire things back off this time by. Ford Mustang pace car ready to duck on off this time by. Here we go, ready to go back green flag racing once again. Left-hand turn, there it goes, on out the way, on the gas, green flag flies. Once again here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway in the BlackJack 100, brought to you by NEXTGEN Racing's light electric company. Xfinity Series down to the turn 1, your pole sitter leads yet again. Fast on his trail, Hunter Tate. He's been there all race long up inside your top 3 the entire time so far here tonight. Now looking to the inside, here comes Chris Medford, first time inside the top 3, and he's looking for that top spot as he works his way off of turn number 4. Going to be side by side with the 98, drag race to the line. 2 and 3 wide at the front of this Xfinity field, and still packed up side by side for your top 8 spots on track. Drivers not giving way just yet. Everybody down hard, hammer down, ready to go. Thomas Light keeping that top spot, powering around the outside. He's going to take it back to the bottom of the speedway and lead yet another lap. Now looking once again, Chris Medford, Hunter Tate, they both go to the outside. Jeffrey Vandervoort looking towards the bottom of the track. He's going to slot in just behind Light. A little further back through the field, going to highlight all the drivers here because there are a ton of different battles going on. There you can see a little bit of slight contact for Kendall Levron. And that 28 machine, there you can see Levron making his way off of turn number 4. Last time by out of 2, a little bit of a scrape with the ball, a little bit of contact. Doesn't look any worse for the wear, so he'll continue around this track as these drivers continue this blistering pace. Last time by, your race leader wasn't even the fastest on the track. Thomas Light in some trouble, danger at the front. Chris Medford's going to take that top spot away on the high side. Can he keep it wound up? Can he keep the momentum and get the run off of 4? Looks like he's going to be able to pull him. There you see it sliding down the track right across the nose of that 98 new race leader. For the first time here tonight, the 84 of Chris Medford goes to the top of the speed charts. Now looking to the outside of Thomas Light, here comes Jeffrey Vandervoort. Battle hot and heavy at the front of this field. Hot and heavy battles all over this speedway. We'll jump back here in just a few moments, highlight a few more of the battles going on out there on the track. Joshua Spalding, he's looking for a spot inside the top 3. He's going to look to the inside of Vandervoort. Now look to the inside of Thomas Light. Rootin, weaving, bobbing his way to the front. 3 wide as they enter turn number 1. Spalding at the bottom. Thomas Light slides up. Looks like not having any other choice. The 72 going to have to drop back to that 5th spot. With all that hot and heavy racing going on, that has brought Troy Radford in that 94 Lucky Finn Project machine right there up inside your top 5, and now looking for a spot inside the podium positions. He's running hard right now back there, I believe right now in the 4th position. Yes, he is in 4th, trying to take the 3rd spot away from Joshua Spalding, sitting just in front of him. Now we're going to jump back to some more battles. This is a battle outside of your top 30. That's how packed up and fast these drivers are. Eric Blunt, Travis Arthur, as well as Cody Terror, Ryan Wilson, Mitchell Snare, all battling for a spot inside the top 30. Still A lot more drivers out here tonight. Looks like Brian Littleton has had some trouble, and Littleton loses connection, technical trouble for that 80, and that is going to hurt his team as Littleton being scored now. The first car out of tonight's race, back in the 43rd finishing position. Gonna jump back to a battle just inside your top 20. There you can see Nathan Bishop right behind Jonathan Wimbish, Brian Snare, Brian Mescal Jr., as well as Gordon Larson Jr. there packed up with each other right here. Todd Willis, that last bright green car in line, then a short gap back to Robert Hetrick and Robert Liddell. Liddell sitting right there just outside of your top 20, running in the 23rd spot. Now it does look like a lot of the drivers through the front of this field beginning to get single file. And just as I say that, we've got another hot and heavy battle, too wide once again at the front of this field. There you see the 82 and the 8. They continue this battle for the 8th and 9th position on track. Hilton at the top, Tate on the bottom. And I tell you what, since there's battles all over the speedway, ladies and gentlemen, we haven't visited it yet, but we might as well right now. What better time than now? And what better reason than why you love it, we love it. Let's mute the mics for just a brief moment. Head down trackside for a little Turn It Up. And caution on the track, caution on the speedway. While we were under our Turn It Up segment, we'll take a look back, see if we can't see what happens. Looked like Cody Terry in the 22 may have had some trouble there. You can see a heavily damaged 22 machine. That is going to put him significantly down here tonight. We'll take a look, see how it all happened, how it all went down for that 22 of Cody Terry. Oh, there you can see Terry, and I'm not quite sure who that was. Maybe that looks like the 34, actually. Maybe Doug Wasaki, possibly. Let's take a look here. There you can see, yes, indeed, that is that 34 of Doug Wasaki caught up in this one. Looked like Cody Terry goes right across the nose of that 34, and whoa, big time trouble there for some other drivers, catching a little bit of piece of this one right there towards the tail end of it. So as these drivers were under the Turn It Up segment, caution coming out. Driver going across the nose of the 34 of Wasaki, Cody Terry catching the brunt of that. So we'll rejoin the race back up front behind the Ford Mustang pace car, all the drivers down onto pit road. So with that being said, looks like we're going to take ourselves a brief commercial break. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We will be right back. And back track side, just as the Ford Mustang pace car gets ready to duck off, Chris Medford hits the gas, green flag flies. Once again, for the third time here tonight from Las Vegas Motor Speedway, new race leader once again. Chris Medford heads off into turn number 1 with solid control of the race lead back here. Here's a scrum going on. Battle for the third spot. There's Troy Radford slowly trying to make his way to the front. Radford sitting right where he started tonight's race, running in that 4th position. He's got the 72 of Jeffrey Vandervoort right behind him, and trying to look at who is in contention for the Mission 22 hard charger here tonight from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And it looks like not even your race leader right now at the front of this field is in contention for that Mission 22 hard charger. Chris Medford up 11 spots tonight, but not enough. Joshua Spalding, driver, slotted in the 2nd spot. He's been up 14 positions from where he started tonight's race, but the big man on the move, driver with control over that Mission 22 hard charger award right now. If we were to hand it on out, that is the 45 of Brian Snare. There you can see Snare slotted in just between Todd Willis, Matthew McMeekin on the track as these drivers inch closely to the halfway point here tonight. Very fast-paced race for these drivers out here. A lot of them getting the job done very early here. We've seen a ton of great side-by-side racing action through the first half of this race. Will we continue to see these big packs continue to try to mix it up? A little bit further back here, you can see drivers mixing it up. They are single file now, not as much double file racing throughout the field, but drivers still all over the rear deck lids of the drivers that they are around. Bobby Camden sitting right there, up 7 spots from where he started, now inside the top 30. Camden sitting in the 29th position. And that's what I'm talking about, race fans, here in the Light Electric Company ARC Menard Series, in the Light Electric Company Xfinity Series. Going to be hard to kick the habit. Last year, title sponsor for the ARC Menard Series was Light Electric Company. This season, stepping on board as the title sponsor for the Next Gen Light Electric Company Xfinity Series. So gonna take a while to train the tongue to spit that one on out instead. But as we were saying, drivers all over each other all the way back here, even outside of your top 30 on the scoring pylon. Back to the front of this field, though, where the battles are still hot and heavy. Chris Medford still has a rear view mirror full of Steve Baker making his way right there, trying to grab that top spot. And Ken Spalding and Baker somehow find a way to get up and around your race leader, Chris Medford. Let's go and see if we can't check in. Let's see where you're Blackhawk Motorsports. Oh, and caution flag gonna fly once again here tonight from Las Vegas Motor Speedway, right when we're about to check in on your Blackhawk Motorsports Pole Award winner. And hopefully we didn't give them the broadcaster's curse there. We'll go ahead and see if we can't get that one queued up for you. See if we can't figure out how it all went down and what happened here to put us under our latest caution here tonight. Gonna jump back, take a look, and not really seeing anything on the timing and scoring. Drivers at the back running just fine. Don't see anybody running and going around. Don't see any smoke anywhere. Checking all over through the field. And no, looks like maybe just a debris caution. Gonna slow the field down once again here tonight from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. So we will rejoin the race once again live back at the front behind the Ford Mustang pace car. There you can see all the drivers heading down pit road once again. So, as we find ourselves under caution once again, let's go back to our side-by-side commercial break here. And there you can see it. Drivers making their way down pit road, trying to see where they're going to be able to slot out after this latest pit stop. Team standings right there on the screen for you to keep track of. We'll continue to slot that on screen for you from time to time. With that being said, race fans, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.
Back after our commercial break, halfway into tonight's race. Field double file ready to go back. Green flag racing. Looks like Joshua Spalding gonna line up just to the outside of your race leader, Christopher Spencer. There you can see him on that inside lane. Spencer with a great pit stop just in his box for 10.4 seconds. So snatching the race lead with some pit strategy here tonight. We'll have to see how it all pans out. Ford Mustang pace car ready to duck on off, this time by Medford Radford making up row number 2. Baker and Vandervoort back in row number 3. Wimbish and Ping, Larson in light round out your top 10 for this latest restart here in race number 3 for the NEXTGEN Light Electric Company Xfinity Series. Waiting for it, and on the gas, green flag flies once again here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Drivers trying to make their way up through the gears. We'll take a look back through the field as they make their way down into turn number 1. Looks like the front gonna stack up pretty quickly. Battle really going on still side by side. There you can see John Wimbish in that familiar 56 Cheerwine machine stuck on the outside. Here comes Dustin Ping. A spot inside the top 5. Once again, Ping has dropped out of the top 5 after being the early race leader, slowly but surely making his way up through the field. And want to go give a big time shout out to these drivers right here. We'll go ahead and show them on screen as we check in with your Black Hawk Motorsports pole sitter. There you can see Thomas Light in that 98 machine. He's stuck to the outside as Travis Smith with a big move and drives down to the bottom of the speedway. He'll look to the inside of Thomas Light, and now running into that 12th spot, up 15 spots from where he started tonight's race. Now back inside the top 15, Travis Smith takes the 9 to the 12th spot on the track. Another big time shout out right now, drivers sitting with that Mission 22 Hard Charger Award. If we were to throw the flag on it all right now, up 24 spots from where he started tonight's race. Outside of the top 30, Gordon Larson Jr. in the 01 has made one heck of a run up through the field. There you can see that Hardline Racing team driver trying to make his way up a little bit further through the field. Christopher Spencer still leading the race. Joshua Spalding, Chris Medford, Steve Baker, and Troy Radford round out your top 10, your top 5. I was going to say that was a pretty quick top 5 there, Dave. Drivers nose to tail down the back stretch. That's first all the way back through about the 10th, 11th position on track. We'll jump back a little bit further. There you can see Brandon Medford in that 83 machine. He's got Travis Smith coming right behind him. Thomas Light is clear of Lance Yancey, Kendall Levron, Brian Muskel Jr. up a handful of spots tonight from his 30th spot starting position. Muskel Jr. now knocking on the door of a top 15 for the first time. There you can see battling hard Kendall Levron and Lance Yancey in that 77, mixing it up. Heading into turn number 3, that's going to stack the field up behind them just a little bit. Brian Muskel Jr., Todd Willis, Eric Blount, as well as Nathan Bishop. They're all going to close in the top from about 15th to 20th. They're all over each other now. And what happened to Hetrick? Jimmy Hetrick was running inside your top 10. Now Hetrick sitting there. You see just off in the distance in that purple Ally Chevy ZL1 Camaro. Hetrick with some trouble now running back in the 20th position. 13 spots from where he started tonight's race. 2 and 3 wide in front of this field. Travis Smith, there you can see him all over the rear deck lid of that 82 of Tyler Hilton. Gordon Larson Jr. slotted in just behind him. Brandon Medford off in front, as well as your top 5 drivers still nose to tail. We'll jump back to a few more battles. There you can see Hetrick. He's still hounding Nathan Bishop. That is a spot inside the top 20. That is for the 19th and 20th spot on the track. So drivers everywhere battling it out for position. Jeff Styles, here you can see yet some more battles on the track. That's just outside of your top 25, and that is a battle for that 25th position. Jeff Styles going to take that spot from Robert Liedel. And as we ran through the field, we'll start back at the front one more time, give you a little bit of the driver information for you out there tonight. Sitting in that top spot, no, doesn't look like that one's going to cooperate with us, so we'll go ahead and throw this one down for you. A little bit different aspect. Driver sitting at the front of the field, running in that top spot. There you can see a man on screen, that familiar blue 2 of Christopher Spencer leads the field off of turn number 4 and back across the line. Driver slotted in just behind him. Joshua Spalding, Chris Medford back running in the 3rd spot. Gonna take a jump back now to Steve Baker running in the 4th position. See how Baker is making his way around the track. Troy Radford slotted in right there. The Falcon Motorsports driver with a solid run so far here tonight. So heck of a job being done out there by all of these drivers. We'll go ahead and highlight a few more as well. Gordon Larson Jr., there you can see that 01 machine slotted just outside the top 10, running in the 30th position, up 20 spots from where he started tonight's race. So right now, your Mission 22 hard charger goes to Gordon Larson Jr. Oh, looks like drivers having some trouble there. Way up the track goes Kendall Levron. He continues that battle with Lance Yancey just behind Gordon Larson Jr., Brian Mescal Jr. right behind Levron. There you can see that orange and a white machine trying to make his way around on the bottom, back behind a familiar friend, a familiar face just in front of him. Inside that 77, Lance Yancey. We'll take a look back at the front of the field as Joshua Spalding is starting to heat up. Your race leader, Chris Spencer, one more time here. Hot and heavy battle at the front of the field. It's a 4-car breakaway for the top spot. Who's going to walk away with that top spot? And I tell you what, why don't we see if we can't take a look back? We do have one of those onboard camera shots. Let's see if we can't take a look back from the driver sitting in that 2nd spot, back off the rear deck lid. There you can see the Jimmy Johnson Foundation on the rear deck lid of this 5, piloted by Joshua Spalding. Looking back at an earlier race leader, that Ford Mustang piloted by Chris Medford, still running solidly inside the top 5, inside your podium spots. Last driver in those podium spots back in that 3rd spot, and he's got Steve Baker right behind him, chomping at the bits, ready to pounce if there is a mistake made. And there you can see up the track goes Christopher Spencer. Capitalizing on that moment is the 5. Put the Chevy Camaro into the top spot now as Spalding looks to lead a handful of laps here. Spencer able to slot into the 2nd spot. That's going to slow the roll just a little bit for Medford. He's going to get moved out from the bottom of the track, and now Steve Baker looks to take away that 3rd and final podium position. Troy Radford just off in the distance saying, go ahead, guys. You guys just keep on playing and battling. You keep on wearing those tires out. I'll be ready to go here in just a few more laps. More battles on the track. Here you can see drivers 2 and 3 wide. Brian Mescal Jr. side by side with Kendall Levron. They make their way into turn number 3. That's going to get itself sorted on out. And just behind them, Todd Willis, Gordon Larson Jr., and Jimmy Hetrick. Those 3 drivers absolutely putting on a show. 2 and 3 wide at times through the center of these corners. Las Vegas Motor Speedway here tonight, and the NEXTGEN Racing Light Electric Company Xfinity Series has been quite a fireworks show. We'll jump a little bit in front of Brian Mescal Jr. Go back up here with your Blackhawk Motorsports pole sitter, Thomas Light, running inside the top 10, looking for a little bit more. Just back behind him, John Wimbish in a battle with Tyler Hilton, Dustin Ping. Also outside of your top 10, looking in. Well, if we have a hard charger, I think we gotta have a hard faller. Walking away with that one the way it sits right now. Back on the track, well behind the field, well in trouble. Back in the 40th spot, there you can see the heavily wounded Toyota Super, piloted by Derek Robinson. That 38 has seen some better days, and he has dropped 31 positions from where he started tonight's race. running now back in the 40th spot. And since we've highlighted your hardest faller, let's go ahead and jump to your hardest charger right here. There you can see that 45 of Brian Snare making his way around Kendall Levron, and that will give Snare 27 positions gained on the night. The only driver that's remotely capable of challenging Snare right now for that is this driver right here. Man, that is beginning to close in on that 72 of Jeffrey Vandervoort. That is Travis Smith in the 9. Smith on a tear up through the field, up 20 spots from where he started tonight's race, and looking for more. Smith looking to snatch away that 6th spot as we cross the line to leave just 26 laps remaining here in the Next Gen Racing Light Electric Company Xfinity Series, live from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Do want to say thanks for joining us here tonight. Once again, as always, Darkside Dave in the cave here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. And if you haven't already, throw these drivers a thumbs up, click subscribe, and smash the bell over there on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, whether it's myself, Darkside Dave in the cave, or anybody else back at the Turn 3 headquarters. We do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by, whether you're just casually sliding through or you are the dedicated fan, friend, or family. We do appreciate each and every one of you, each and every time you stop by. So as I've already said, as I've already asked, as I've already mentioned, go ahead and slap that thumbs up button as green flag pit stops underway. Troy Radford, Hilton, Brian Skull Jr., Kendall Levron, Snare, Lance Yancey, as well as Todd Willis, Hunter Tate, Gordon Larson Jr. They're all going to come to pit road as soon as the fuel window opened up. Pit road, very busy place. Smith now inside the top 5, back to your race leader. There you can see a big gap between himself, Steve Baker, and Christopher Spencer as they're going to break for pit road. Baker comes to pit road as well. Spencer going to stay out on the track and take over the lead of this race. Troy Radford, Hilton, the first drivers down to pit road. They have fallen off of the lead lap, but they should get that lap back. Chris Medford looking to gain a little bit of ground on a fellow Ford Mustang driver. Medford looking to get around Spencer. Spencer not having any of it. Will these top 2 drivers make their way to pit road this time by? No, they won't. They'll stay out on the track. What does Travis Smith do back here in the 3rd spot? He's going to stay out on track. Thomas Light staying out. Wimbish Ping also staying out with Hetrick. And Brandon Medford, only driver to come to pit road that time by. Scratch that. Matthew McMeekin, Ray Radford. They're both going to come to back down to pit road. So we'll stay with this battle for the race lead as now Chris Medford has reclaimed the top spot and has opened up a 0.3 of a second race advantage. Looking to come to pit road. Oh, can he get it woed up? Christopher Spencer. Oh my goodness, what a good job. That was probably one of the latest breaking entries to pit road that we've seen under this green flag pit cycle, and it did look like he was able to get that thing woed up just enough to not incur any penalties. Going to keep our eye on the timing and scoring, though. See if those pesky pit road police popped anybody here tonight who gambled and rolled the dice trying to get as much as they could. We'll have to wait and see how it all plays out. Chris Medford continues to stretch the fuel here tonight from Las Vegas Motor Speedway, round number 3 this season in the Next Gen Racing Light Electric Company Xfinity Series, and still stretching the fuel. Medford, Smith, Hetrick, Arthur, Learman, and Walters continue to stay out on track. Dustin German also going to stay out on track. All those drivers last on to pit road back at lap number 50. We are working our way around the track on lap number 81 now for these drivers. So 31 laps into this green flag run. The drivers out there on the track are going to have much fresher tires and are more than likely tearing up this field, tearing up this gap right now. The only thing that I think some of these drivers can hope for is a possible caution coming out right here, rest of the field will have to take a wave around, and they will have much older tires, so that could just very well work out for the drivers still sitting in your top 8. Still yet to come to pit road. There you can see Chris Medford, Travis Smith back in the second spot. These are drivers trying to make their way back onto being just one lap down, as you see right there. Brian Mescal Jr. making his way off of pit road. He scored off of the lead lap back in the 14th position, and with this big mix-up right here with this long stretched out green flag pit cycle. Whoa, close racing there. That was super close, as the 5 of Joshua Spalding, the first driver to put himself back on the lead lap the good old-fashioned way. Spalding back on the lead lap, back in the 8th position. Now more drivers looking to get themselves at least back to one lap down. Jimmy Hetrick, no, that's the 47 of Ray Radford. Radford going to get himself back to being just one lap down. There you can see the 95. He's going to make his way around, put himself back. Or that's the 55, I apologize, of Steve Baker. Baker going to put himself back on the lead lap. Troy Radford not very far off from doing so as well. And can these drivers stretch it another 16 laps? You got to wonder, because they're showing no sign of slowing down. They're showing no sign of getting ready for a green flag pit stop. How long will Chris Medford, Travis Smith, Travis Arthur, as well as Justin Walters, Dustin German, and Melvin Young stay out there on the track? Those top 6 drivers all yet to come to pit road for the final time. And with that being said, I know we still have a few drivers left to go through their green flag pit cycle, but let's go ahead and do a little bit of house cleaning for you here in a race number 3 of the Next Gen Racing Light Electric Company Xfinity Series, right here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the BlackJack 100. We started tonight's race with 43 drivers. Upwards of 50 drivers tried to qualify for tonight's race. Unfortunately, 7 of them being sent home before the night even got started. Then we had 43 slot on the starting grid. We have still got 41 drivers on the track, and right now during this long drawn out green flag pit cycle, we are down to just 9 drivers left on the lead lap. And now Travis Smith, he's going to bring that 9 machine down to pit road. Where will he shake out when it's all said and done? Very long run there, extending that run for an awful long time. Smith going to have to pull something out of the hat here on the pit road. He has yet to hit his pit box. Down and away finally, and Smith gonna fall through the running order. Now back into the 8th spot with just a handful of laps left to go here tonight. There you can see Chris Medford making his way by the stripe. That will put him with just 12 laps remaining. Travis Smith gonna fall even deeper through this field now with that late green flag pit stop. He's gonna fall all the way outside the top 15 and all the way outside of the top 20. So a big-time mistake here, falling from grace all the way outside of your top 25. That 9 of Travis Smith may have wished he had come to pit road a little bit earlier than what he had so far here tonight. And take a look at this man right here. He's yet to come to pit road, but if he can somehow stretch this fuel, he does seem to be saving quite a bit of fuel as the faster drivers make their way back to him. Dustin German up 35 spots from where he started tonight's race as we creep in on just 10 laps remaining here. He's going to get gobbled up with ease by Joshua Spalding, Steve Baker, Troy Radford. They're going to be right there here in just a few moments. And Dustin German gonna begin to fall from a podium spot outside the top 3-5, and you can look for him to somewhere slot in back and around the 25th or so position. as those green flag pit cycles have completed themselves. Chris Medford still yet to come to pit road. He is the only driver left out there, only driver that has not come to pit road. And when will your race leader come down pit road? He's got 9 laps to stretch this, and he's got a 15-second gap back to Joshua Spalding, and he has got a lot of drivers. Whoa, big move. Travis Smith cutting through the field like a hot knife through butter. That 9 looking to gain a little bit of ground. He'll put himself back on the lead lap, now sitting just outside of your top 15. So Smith already recovering some of what he lost and staying out on the track yet another lap. Just 8 laps now to go for that Ford Mustang piloted by Chris Medford, that 84 gambling. And why not? They say, you know, when in Vegas, right? I mean, I thought it was. That's like when in Rome, but you know, whatever. They've got a pyramid in Vegas. Why not a Rome? Just saying. Looking through the timing and scoring in a close battle for that Mission 22 Hard Charger Award. That is a toss-up between the 45 of Brian Snare, running back in the 18th position right now, up 24 spots from where he started tonight's race. The closest driver to him on that one would be Brian Mescal Jr., up 22 spots from where he started tonight's race, but running up inside the top 10. A big gain for Brian Mescal Jr. There you can see him right there slotted in just behind the 82 of Tyler Hilton, and he's got Jeffrey Vandervoort within his sights as well. So Brian Mescal Jr. going to make up, or could possibly make up enough points here, enough spots here to make his way inside the top 5. And as we said at the beginning of tonight's race, this is one of Brian Mescal Jr.'s favorite tracks, one of his better tracks, and having an abysmal start there, mired back in traffic outside of the top 30 for the majority of the start of tonight's race. And now when it matters, when it counts, Brian Mescal Jr. sitting now in the 7th position, looking for more. He has got the 6th and 5th place right there in front of him. He has just got to find a way around. And 5 laps to go for your race leader. We'll go ahead and throw that man back on screen. Give credit where credit is due. Joshua Spalding taking control over the race late in the going and controls this race now by 2.3 seconds over the 55 of Steve Baker. Baker back there in second with 4 laps to go. Troy Radford slotted in that 3rd and final podium spot. He's got his Lucky Finn Project Ford Mustang looking pretty sweet, looking pretty fine, looking pretty fast tonight from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Jeffrey Vandervoort sitting just inside the top 5 is the last driver inside your top 5. There you can see that 72 Miller Genuine Draft Machine making his way back into turn number 3, and that battle for 6th, 7th, and 8th has heated up. It's a 3-car battle, as now Brian Mescal Jr. has lost a little bit of ground. He's given up a spot to Thomas Light. Light gonna make his way by Mescal Jr. as well as Hilton. And a solid recovery as well for Dustin Ping. He fell way out of the top 10. Now running just outside the top 10 in the 11th position. And still, what a race by this man right here. We'll highlight him once again as your race leader sees the popsicle sticks on display. 2 laps to go for your race leader, but we're watching that 45 of Brian Snare, your Mission 22 Hard Charger Award winner right now, up 25 spots from where he started tonight's race. We'll jump back for your race leader as he makes his way off of turn number 4, back across the stripe, white flag in the air. Final lap here tonight in the BlackJack 100, sponsored by Conrad Group Insurance Agency. a big shout out to Conrad Group for coming on board, being the sponsor of tonight's race. Big time tip of the cap and hats off for all you've done for the Next Gen Light Electric Company Xfinity Series. And off of 4 for the final time, seeing the checkered flag for the first time in hand, your new race winner. Your third different race winner in this season for the Next Gen Racing Light Electric Company Xfinity Series. Getting the job done late in the going, keeping it in his back pocket the rest of the night. Joshua Spalding gonna walk away with the race win, and checking through the timing and scoring, about to see who is that Mission 22 Hard Charger Award winner. And oh my goodness, late in the going, Brian Snare's going to get passed by a few drivers, and that's going to give Brian Mescal Jr. that Mission 22 Hard Charger Award winner. Hard Charger Award. Oh my goodness. Man, I did not see that one coming late in the going. And well, with that said, race fans, and as these drivers enjoy their celebrations down there on the track, we're going to step away for just a brief commercial break, get things set up for your post-race interview. So don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. And back trackside once again at the completion of tonight's a BlackJack 100 brought to you by the Conrad Group Insurance Agency. Big tip of the cap for them coming on board, sponsoring tonight's race here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And well, race fans, it has been one heck of a night out there for all of us. So let's see if we can't catch in a few words with a driver walking away in the third spot here tonight. Let's see if we can't catch in a few words with the driver inside of that 94 machine, Troy Radford. It's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
I do, Dave. How are you doing tonight, man?
Man, I'm doing fantabulous. How about yourself?
Doing pretty good. Brought home a P3 in a race, so no damage, no wrecks, nothing like that. So I can't complain too much.
Yeah, no damage, no real troubles out there for you in your Ford out there tonight. Pretty clean race after a 3-week layoff here for the Next Gen Racing Light Electric Company Xfinity Series. So walk us through a little bit of how you made your way up through the field. A little hot and heavy at the front at times.
Oh yeah, the thing is, I mean, this league is so phenomenally talented, and I mean, just everybody out here are just absolute beasts. So, you got to make some good moves, but you also, you make these moves with these guys knowing that, chances are you're going to be okay because, they're smart enough to be able to handle them and, stuff like that. So we've definitely get a lot of really good racing, a lot of really good finishes out of that.
Well, Troy, walk us through a little bit as I already mentioned, a 3-week layoff there for the series with Super Bowls and Valentine's Days and all of this and that. Things kind of fall out of line sometimes, but a very long stretch here now for this series before their next break. How do you think you and that 94 crew are gonna handle this longer little stretch that we're about to embark on?
We're ready for it. I mean, we've got a couple of really good tracks up here for me. Next week at Dover, although a Spalding won tonight, and I think Dover is one of his best tracks too. So, it's definitely going to take a little bit of practice to get the car exactly where we need to be. But it's a good set of tracks all the way up to Watkins Glen, where I'm usually pretty decent. That's up until April 4th, which is Easter. So we're racing until Easter here. But the 94 is definitely ready for it. I think we can come away sitting pretty here, sitting P3 in points right now. Steve's got the points lead, but a couple of keep the good races going like this, and we'll be all right.
Oh, I can assure you, keep races going like this, and you'll be all right. That's for sure. Especially come chase time and towards the end of the season and things of that nature. So, Troy, again, man, congratulations on a fine return back to the track for not just yourself, but the entire league here, walking away with a third and final spot on the podium here tonight. So before we let you go, you want to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, forget anybody you need to thank?
The first one as an admin, just to be able to come back into these races after a 3-week period and have 100 laps on the track with 3 cautions, and I don't think any of them were real big cautions either. So, to have these 3 cautions over 100 laps, just phenomenal racing out there. I can't say enough about the guys out there that were racing with us. Just really quality people that we have. Very blessed. And then, of course, as far as our team, man, Falcon Motorsports, we looked like we were going to get 4 cars in the top 10 till right at the very end. We've just been putting a lot of work into it and really trying to get the program up just a little bit because the quality is just so tough out there. But, thank you guys all to Turn 3 Net Racing Network, as well as all of my sponsors, the Lucky Finn Project, Evidence Base, Mommy. Thank you guys.
All right, Troy. Well, again, my man, congratulations. Great race run. And we'll look forward to catching up with you a little bit later throughout the year.
Yep. Thank you, sir.
There you have it. Final few parting words from the driver walking away with that third and final podium spot. That was the 94 of Troy Radford, and that's going to lead us into the driver walking away in the second position here tonight. Let's see if we can't catch in a word or two with Steve Baker walking away with that second spot. Let's see if we can't dial him up, having some. There it goes. Let's see. Baker, it's Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Dave.
Hey, man, I was having a little bit of issues getting you up here, but fortunately enough, I'm smarter than a fifth grader. I mean, maybe. So, anyways. Man, fine run out there for you tonight. Long green flag run there coming to the end of tonight's race. Walk us through how your car felt really all night long.
Yeah, car felt good. Feel like we had decent speed on the short run, but really once things got strung out and got into a little bit longer run, I think it improved a little bit. Problem was it seemed like the middle or top lane was kind of the only option out there tonight. So.
Well, Steve, not really leading any laps here tonight, I do not believe, or maybe my timing and scoring may be a little bit off of there, but you were very close multiple times here. Did you ever think about maybe stretching the fuel there to try to lead a few laps, try to get a few bonus points?
Not really, just because with how fast the track was tonight, getting on pit road late, I think would have hurt and would have cost some time. So just tried to maintain my position. Didn't really worry about any of the bonus points and worried about the finish out there.
Well, Steve, you did it very quietly here tonight, so much respect with that. No real issues, no real problems. All race long for you and the entire 55 crew, slotting in the second spot here tonight. I know it's not first, but still nothing to be unhappy with. So congratulations on a fine run here tonight before we let you go. Want to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody on the side of that 55?
Yeah, as always, thanks to the admins, thanks to you in Turn 3. I want to give a shout out to just the whole team. I think we had 4 in the top 5 tonight, and Josh walking away with the win. So solid night for the group, and hopefully we can continue on next week.
All right, there, Will. Steve, man, again, congratulations on a great win and a great run for you, and as well as not just your 55 team, but your whole smoke show team having a good run here. So we'll look to catch up with you boys a little bit later on throughout the year.
Thanks, Dave.
There you have it. Final few words from the driver walking away in the second spot from the smoke show. Steve Baker getting the job done inside that 55, and he's going to walk away from the track in the second spot, and that's going to bring us to your Century Equipment Victory Lane race winner. Let's see if we can't catch in a word or two with the driver enjoying the champagne in Victory Lane. Joshua Spalding, is Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
Sure do.
Hey, man, how you doing? How you feeling after knocking down the race win column and getting yourself one in the books?
Oh, it's a great feeling. Always nice to be in victory lane, and with the competition of this league, it's definitely an accomplishment. It was some great racing tonight. A lot of respect given, and a lot of really fast cars up towards the front. So it was definitely a competitive night. I kept the car clean all night and just kind of stayed smart and not real aggressive, and really just took care of the tires and just had the speed basically all the way through the run. It's always nice to have a car with speed like that. So a lot of fun tonight.
Well, a lot of fun for you there, especially towards the end of the race. You grabbed control of the lead there on the long green flag run. You were able to keep it through the green flag pit cycle. Did you ever think that maybe you had the wrong strategy at coming too early, or did you think that those drivers that were staying out were just giving up way too much time?
I honestly didn't know how it was going to go. I didn't know if people were saving gas and or saving tires, and I probably would have stayed out a little longer if it wasn't for my teammates there that said they were pitting and taking 4. I was actually thinking about staying out until maybe 10 or 12 to go and taking 2. I don't really know how that would have fared. I don't think it would have been a winning call. So I probably owe this win a little bit to Steve Baker and Chris Spencer, because they talked about coming in that lap that I did. So always nice to have fast teammates, and enjoyed racing tonight with everybody.
Absolutely. Well, my man, congratulations on a fine race win here tonight, breaking yourself into the winners column here in Century Equipment Victory Lane from Las Vegas Motor Speedway in the BlackJack 100. So before we let you go, Joshua, and enjoy the rest of your night celebrating away, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, thank anybody that you may have forgot on that 5?
Well, I always appreciate Troy Radford putting on a great league. He does a great job, and you, Dave, you do a great broadcast. So appreciate all of that, and all my teammates racing with them at SSR Racing. It's been a fun season so far, and appreciate everybody in the league. It's real competitive and a lot of fun to be out there.
All right, my man. Well, again, congratulations on a great race win, and we'll look forward to catching up with you a little later on throughout the year.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it.
There you have it. Final few words from the driver walking away with your Century Equipment Victory Lane Award. There you see that 5 of Joshua Spalding getting the job done here tonight and walking away in style from the track with a little bit of hardware, a little bit of equipment. And now we'll jump to the driver that walked away with tonight's Blackhawk Pole Award winner. There you can see on screen the information. That is Thomas Light walking away with that accolade with those points right there. So Thomas Light doing one heck of a job. Not quite sure why it's not showing Thomas's information. We'll have to go ahead and throw that up for you right there. It is. There you have it right there on screen inside that 98 machine. Thomas Light getting the quick time in qualifying 30.613, snatching that Blackhawk Motorsports Pole Award here tonight for Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It's BlackJack 100. And on to a little bit more official business after that Blackhawk Motorsports Pole Award. There you can see Brian Mescal Jr. up 22 spots from where he started tonight's race, snatching that Mission 22 Hard Charger Award. Brian Mescal Jr. started way back in the 30th spot, finished tonight's race up inside the top 10 in the 8th position, up 22 spots from where he started tonight's, just edging out Brian Snare, who gained 21 spots throughout tonight's race. So a very close battle between drivers to snatch the Mission 22 Hard Charger Award and the points that go along with it. So a big tip of the cap and a shout out to the 33 and his entire crew walking away with the Mission 22 Hard Charger Award here tonight in the BlackJack 100 from Las Vegas Motor Speedway, brought to you by Conrad Insurance Group, as well as Light Electric Company Xfinity Series right here in the Next Gen Racing League. My goodness, not a whole lot left for us to do, not a whole lot left to be said here tonight from Las Vegas Motor Speedway, except, well, you hear it in the background. Producers hitting them buttons. They're ready for me to run down tonight's unofficial race results for round number 3 here in the Next Gen Racing Light Electric Company Xfinity Series. Walking away with the race win, first time race winner on the year, the 5 of Joshua Spalding. Finishing the race tonight in second place, Steve Baker. Troy Radford rounds out your podium finishers. The 2 of Christopher Spencer going to slot home in 4th. 5th place goes to Jeffrey Vandervoort, while Thomas Light finishes in 6th. Nathan Bishop back in 7th. Brian Mescal Jr. home in 8th. 9th place goes to Tyler Hilton, and rounding out your top 10, the 9 of Travis Smith. Dustin Ping going to slot home in 11th. 12th place goes to John Wimbish. Brandon Medford going to finish in 13th. 14th, Kendall Levron. Jimmy Hetrick going to finish tonight in 15th. And 16th goes to Lance Yancey, slotting home tonight in the BlackJack 100 here in the Light Electric Company Xfinity Series. The 14 of Todd Willis goes home in 17th. Mitchell Snare going to walk away from the track in 18th. 19th spot goes to Hunter Tate. Damian Patton with a big recovery here tonight was back off the lead lap, back out of the top 30 and finishes inside the top 20. Brian Snare going to slot home in 21st. 22nd goes to Gordon Larson Jr. The 44 of Matthew McMeegan going to finish back in the 23rd spot. 24th goes to Jeff Stiles. Eric Blount right there in 25th. 26th spot goes to Chris Medford. Justin Walters finishing tonight's race back In the 27th spot, 28th goes to Robert Hetrick. 29th on tonight's race, Travis Arthur, Craig Lerman, Ray Radford back in 31st. There you can see last week's race winner finishing tonight back in the 34th spot, so a big drop through the points can be expected for that. 88 of Katie Osmond. 35th goes to Dustin German. Ryan Wilson gonna finish in 36th. Robert Liddell back in the 37th spot. 38th goes to Bobby Camden in 39th. Melvin Young, Derek Robinson with early trouble gonna finish in 40th. Doug Wasaki, Cody Terry, and Brian Littleton round out your full 43 car field for tonight's race number 3 right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network for the Light Electric Company Xfinity Series here in the Next Gen Racing League. Tonight's BlackJack 100 brought to you by Conrad Group Insurance Agency, so a big time shout out to them. Also to associate sponsor 946 Designs, as well as Jekyll Controls. A lot of great sponsors here in this series and league, and well, race fans, not very much left to do after that one except begin to roll up the course. So with all that being said, with all that in the books, get ready for another great race Sunday night when we hit Dover International Speedway, the Monster Mile. How many victims will it claim? We'll have to wait and see. Until then, stay safe, stay loved, my friends, and we'll meet you once again. You know where? Turn 3.